It's time! What is up, everybody? It's your boy Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, and today we are breaking down and recapping Creed 3. Now, I probably look a little different. Got a new hat today. I got my director's cap on. Me and Michael B. Jordan doing the same thing. Shout out to my editor, Ryan Keys, for getting me this awesome Ghostface hat, which you will see in the future. Hint, hint. But yeah, I saw Creed 3, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed all three movies thoroughly. I will rank them at the end of this. But the third one had some good points, had some not so good points, but we will get into that. But let's dive right in. So the movie starts off, we see a car driving, we see the golden gloves hanging from the mirror, and we see a young Damien. Then we see a young Adonis Creed sneaking out to meet Damien. Now they go to this club, they get in the back door. We find out it's a underground boxing kind of thing for young kids. Damien asks Creed to get something in his bag. He sees money, but he also sees a gun, which does play a major factor in this movie. Damien knocks out his opponent pretty quickly, and they're going to cash the check. And then as Creed, a young Creed, is walking in, he sees somebody, he goes, "You don't remember me, huh?" And he just starts beating him up. And then we see a little of that flashback. Then cut to modern day, we see Michael B. Jordan, aka Adonis Creed, fighting Tommy Conlon, the same Tommy Conlon from the first movie. And it is shot beautifully, like a video game I felt like I was watching. And I loved the shots in this movie. We will get more into that. Creed beats Conlon. Creed is the undisputed champion, and he retires as the undisputed champion. Then we see Amara. Last time we saw her in Creed 2, she was just born, like freshly born. So she's about 7 or 8 in this movie. And then we see Creed dress up as some kind of animal, and he's having a tea party with Amara. Then we see this hooded figure. He leaves, and then he's at the gym. He's leaning up against Adonis's car. And Adonis is like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's like, "I want your autograph." And he goes, "Well, I'm not signing autographs, but you can get off my car." And then Damien goes, "You don't recognize me, do you?" And then Creed suddenly realizes, he goes, "Damien?" And yeah, they finally come face to face, and they go out to eat. They have a nice time. They're very similar people, which comes into play later. Find out Damien was in prison for 18 years. Now, why he was in prison, we find out later on. And that was one of the problems I had with this movie. Some things didn't make sense. I understand it's a movie. But then we cut back to Adonis beating up the guy. And then quickly, it's a 3-on-1. Adonis getting beat up. Damien comes with a gun, and he's holding it at them. Yeah, we go to modern day, and we see Adonis and Bianca, and they want Adonis's mother to move out of the house because she had a stroke. That will come into play later. But she does make a funny joke. She goes, "I'm not having another stroke tonight." And Bianca starts laughing, and Michael B. Jordan's like, "Mom, that's not funny." We then see Damien and Felix about to spar, but it cuts away to Amara making a painting in her class. One of the girls takes the painting and just rips it up in front of her. And even me, I'm like, "What?" And Amara just decks this little girl right in the face. It's almost like her father is like an undisputed champion, famous boxer. Crazy how that is. So Damien comes to the house for a get-together. Creed is teaching him sign language to talk to Amara, and he's learning it. But then we find out Damien wants a title shot. Now, this is kind of crazy. This is one of the things I'm talking about. That doesn't just happen in boxing. But Damien wants it, and Michael B. Jordan, a.k.a. Adonis, is trying to figure out how to do that. And then we finally see Felix and Damien spar. Now, this is the first sign that we see that Damien isn't exactly the cleanest fighter of them all. Then we go to a party and we see Victor Drago from Creed 2 and Creed, and they're kind of cool. It's kind of weird because Drago put him in the hospital and almost really hurt him, or worse. Then we go back in time again and we find out Creed was beating up Leon, and that's when Damien pulled the gun and everything went poorly for Dion. Drago gets assaulted at the party. We'll get into that. So Creed really wants to put Damien in the match, much to the disapproval of Duke. But the fight ends up happening because Felix is the next big thing. So it's fight night. Felix versus Damien. Felix kind of had the beginning, but then Damien starts to fight dirty again. Like I said, it was a sign from earlier. And Damien, in his first fight, becomes the undisputed champion. And Felix is seriously injured. Creed's standing over Felix. He looks at Damien just like, what did you do? And Damien wants to celebrate, but he realizes Creed's not happy with him. The fight was brutal, though. At one point, Damien, his mouthpiece gets stuck to his teeth, and he rips it out, and some teeth come. It's disgusting. But then we find out, of course, the guy who attacked Drago at the party was one of Damien's friends in prison. And that's how they set all that up. Again, it's not how that really happens in real life, but again, it's a movie. So Damien is celebrating his win wherever. Creed shows up. Things go awry. Damien punches him in the face. Creed kind of is reserved. But then we find out what Damien did to get 18 years. And he did pull the gun on the people beating up Adonis, but he didn't shoot anybody, which was kind of weird to me. You don't usually get 18 years for that, but again, it's a story, it's a movie, you gotta prolong it. We find out then that Creed's mom had another stroke and she's in the hospital. They rush to her side. Creed's mom is saying she forgives Apollo, and the reason she forgives him is because Apollo gave her Adonis. A nice touching moment for sure. Then we go back and we realize Creed ran, which they weren't searching for him for whatever reason. I don't know. So this next part was kind of cool. Adonis goes on first take with Stephen A. Smith, which I did not see coming. And he says he has something to say, and Stephen A. Smith is kind of egging him on. He goes, I know it's about Damien. I know it's about Damien. Then all of a sudden, Damien calls into first take. He's calling him a punk. He's calling him a coward. He said Apollo is ashamed, and Creed just says, I'm challenging you for the undisputed titles. And Damien accepts, and Stephen A. Smith is going crazy. He's like, you heard it here first, folks. So we see the training montage, and it's insane in all these movies. But at one point, we see Creed pulling a plane. Can't say I saw that coming, but that was kind of insane. So it's officially fight time at Dodger Stadium, which was really cool, by the way. I like how they did that. They have a good first round, funny smack talk. They're very similar people. Like I said, we'll come back to that. Mannerisms and all, how they read opponents. And then all of a sudden, nobody's in the crowd. No announcers, no nothing. Just Creed and Damien. And that shows it was just them the whole time fighting. It didn't matter about anybody else. It was just them two duking it out. And then we come back, and somehow it jumped to round 11, and Creed's tired. They're both tired, but Creed comes back from a pretty brutal body shot, and he knocks Damien out in the 12th round to become the undisputed champion again, ending Damien's reign or 1-0 record. So Creed and Damien meet in the locker room after one-on-one. They're just sitting there talking, kind of like old times. They forgive each other. Creed says, if you ever need anything, you know where to find me. So then we cut to in the ring. It's still at Dodger Stadium. Nobody's in the stadium, of course. It's just Creed, Bianca, and Amara. And Amara is challenging him to a fight. She knocks him out, and she's standing over Creed. They all leave the ring, and Creed takes one look back at the ring, just kind of gives a nod, and he walks out. End of movie. I think this is the last Creed movie. Now, whether they do an Amara movie, that's another story. I could see that. But I think Adonis' Creed's story is indeed over. There's not much more for him to do. But wow, did I enjoy Creed 3. 8 out of 10. I enjoyed all 3 movies, but I'm going to rank them. I'm going to go 3 coming in third, which take nothing away from it. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed all the Creed movies. 1 coming in at 2 and 2 coming in at 1. That Drago history really gets me. But yes, Creed 3, great franchise, great trilogy. I enjoyed it. I will miss it if this is truly the end. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that like button. Helps me out, guys, a lot. And I appreciate us getting to 200 subscribers by my birthday. I thank you all. That was the goal. And as always, thank you to my lovely, of course lovely, editor Ryan Keys, who puts all this together and makes it look really good. Couldn't do it without you, buddy. Thank you. Until next time, I'm Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one. Later!